So, today we will talk about how we can generate ideas. And by ideas, I mean actual abstract ideas or connection between the already existing abstract ideas. And everything that I am sharing here is what I have learned across a decent amount of time that I have spent on reading and other things. So, the first rule of actually generating these ideas is that you have to start engaging with ideas which are quite deep rather than engaging on the ideas which are shallow. So, how are we supposed to know which ones are deep and which ones are shallow? So, I have a simple method of figuring out which ones are deep and which ones are not. So, what I think is that primarily what's on hype or social media stuff or self help ideas, these ideas are quite shallow and you have to keep these ideas in your head, otherwise you forget them. So you always have to keep hold on them. But the ideas which are deep are not that easy to acquire. So even if you get them on social media, you won't be able to grasp them on the first sight. You might need to work very hard to understand what they are. It might take you a couple of hours or maybe some days to just know what that idea is about. And all that hard work is worth it, because then when you just know that idea, then you can see that idea in many other fields also, and you won't even forget that idea like the shallow ones. So that's the first rule. It is like the deeper the idea, the harder it is to acquire, and it requires hard work from the person who is trying to know that. And the more you develop this territory of deep ideas, the easier it becomes to see its connections on the surface. So it is not that you will miss out on those easy superficial ideas, it's that you will be able to derive them when you require. So, yes, that's the first thing. The other thing is, I think that you have to give time when you are acquiring these ideas. So, it is not that you will understand some deep idea immediately and then you start seeing connections of that idea. You have to understand that very well, and then you have to give it time. So, by that I mean you have to not interact with that idea and just leave it in the background and come back to it after some time. When you do that, you will see many connections which you couldn't see in the first pass. And I think that is how you generate deep ideas. First is by engaging with the already existing foundational ideas and then acquiring them and then giving yourself time to let it cook in your unconscious. And when you come back to it after some time, you will just see those new connections by yourself. And it's a very honest process because we can just get distracted and just satisfy ourselves with superficiality, and that's why it's very hard to be able to understand these ideas in the first place, let alone generating them. And yes, that's what I think.